If you don't want to watch the full duration of this video, then you can go to a very streamlined resource, okay? It will give you the basic answers for all the questions you have, but keep in mind this is not going to dive into certain things that you need to know. Like, for example, carrying in restaurants that serve alcohol. It says yes with a valid concealed carry permit unless posted. Not necessarily. If you have an enhancement, yeah, you can walk into a restaurant that serves alcohol and sit down and eat, but you are not allowed to have even one drink, and you cannot sit at the bar. So you do need to dive further into this information if you're not willing to watch this lengthy video I'm putting out for you. All right. Hey y'all, Billy the Kid here from the studio. I wanted to give y'all some great beneficial information. You know, I get this question all the time. Billy, why should I go through the time, effort, and money to get an enhanced concealed carry permit, even if I live in a constitutional carry state such as Mississippi like myself? And that's a great question, you know, but there's a lot of benefits as to why you would want to go through that process and acquire your permit. And I'm going to go over those with you. I'll go through a brief summarized version that we get online, and then I'll go into Mississippi laws and kind of try and interpret those, my interpretation. You know, please don't use this as legal advice. Please consult an attorney if you have any questions. I'm in no way, shape, or form an attorney, you know, and I would hate for someone to try and hold me liable for something I say on here. But, you know, it's not that difficult to understand, you know, and I've been reading and interpreting it for a long time now, so I think I have a pretty good understanding, and I'm going to share that with you today. All right, so let's go to my computer screen, and what we're going to start off with is I googled benefits of enhanced concealed carry permit Mississippi. If you scroll down, there's a picayune item article here, and it has a pretty good summarized version of what I like to say, and then we'll get into the law a little bit more in depth here in just a second. So the article reads, within Mississippi, law-abiding citizens have the ability to carry a pistol most anywhere, even without a concealed carry permit, but there are a number of exceptions. The ability to carry a pistol in a concealed manner without a permit became available to Mississippi residents about 2 years ago. Mississippi became a constitutional carry state on April 15th, 2016. However, that privilege still comes with restrictions and does not allow Mississippi residents the same ability when they cross state lines. One restriction with constitutional carry, even within this state, is the concealed pistol still needs to be in a holster of some sort of a sheath. To retain the ability to carry a pistol in a concealed manner in other states that offer reciprocity, which means they accept Mississippi's concealed carry permit as valid, that person needs to obtain a concealed carry permit. Even so, concealed carry permit holders are still prohibited from carrying a pistol into several locations in the state, including schools, courtrooms, law enforcement agencies, private businesses with signs banning the action, and detention facilities. To overcome some of those restrictions, a law-abiding citizen can attend an 8-hour enhanced carry class, which is what I teach, which will add an endorsement to the concealed carry permit. A local law enforcement officer who offers the course said the gun holder would need a concealed carry permit first to receive the benefits of enhanced carry. Since Mississippi's laws allow for open and concealed carry of a pistol without a permit, some people may wonder why they would want to procure a concealed carry or even enhanced carry permit. So additionally, while a person with an enhanced carry permit still can't bring a pistol into a law enforcement agency, private business with clearly posted signs banning the practice, or a federal building, they can potentially carry their pistol onto other places that are typically banned, such as schools. Concealed and enhanced carry permits from Mississippi are recognized by 25 other states, and at least 25 other states in the nation. It's more like 40 now. But the person still has to abide by the state's particular laws. So let's go check those laws out. Alright, so Mississippi is a permitless carry state. We've talked about that. All the places you see here in blue are honors Mississippi's permits. Yellow honors Mississippi enhanced only. Red is no-goes, you know, like California, New York, Illinois, Idaho, North Dakota, and Wyoming have permitless carry for their residents only. All right, this was last updated September 1st of 2019. All right, Mississippi residents can carry a concealed defensive firearm in the state of Oklahoma without any type of permit or license. You must carry your state-issued ID when carrying your firearm in Oklahoma. See the Oklahoma page at www.handgunlaw.us for more information on Oklahoma's law allowing from permitless carry states to carry there. All right. Permitless carry. It should not be a violation of this section for any person over the age of 18 years to carry a firearm or deadly weapon concealed within the confines of his own home or his place of business or any real property associated with his home or business or within any motor vehicle. So you understand what that means? If you're 18 years or older, then it's not illegal for you to carry a firearm in any of your personal property, including your place of business. A license under this section is not required for a loaded or unloaded pistol or revolver to be carried upon the person in a sheath, belt holster, or shoulder holster, or in a purse, handbag, satchel, other similar bag or briefcase or fully enclosed case if the person is not engaged in criminal activity other than a misdemeanor traffic offense, is not otherwise prohibited from possessing a pistol or revolver under state or federal law, and is not in a location prohibited under subsection 13 of this section. Note: the law states carried upon the person in a sheath, belt holster, or shoulder holster. Handgunlaw.us recommends that until they define or a court states what is a sheath, that when you carry your defensive handgun in a concealed manner on your body without a valid permit to carry, that you only carry in a holster that attaches to your belt or shoulder holster. So since the law is usually interpreted verbatim, this is some gray area. If you were, let's say, carrying in a corset, or some type of other carrying device that isn't defined right there with this verbiage, then you could possibly find yourself in a little warm water. All right. So how do you apply for a permit? Well, all parts of this application must be filled out. You can print the application out online from mississippi.dps.gov. Once the application is complete, you need to have it notarized, and you must bring it to the Department of Public Safety headquarters or a Mississippi Highway Patrol, which they have in Greenwood, Batesville, New Albany, Starkville, Meridian, Hattiesburg, Biloxi, or Brookhaven to be fingerprinted. The applicant must present 2 other forms of identification when returning the application. One must be a photo identification, either a Mississippi driver's license or a Mississippi ID card. The second may be your Social Security card, your birth certificate, a marriage license, divorce decree, military discharge papers, military identification card, a passport, a W-2 form, other official government identification, or your current firearm permit. The applicant must have a photo attached to the application. The photograph should form a pose straight forward and should not drop below the level of the chest. And this photo must be no more than 30 days old. No hats, shades, earpieces should be worn while taking the photo. The easiest way to do this is to go somewhere to get a passport photo, like Walgreens or something like that, and just have them take a passport photo and glue stick it on to the application. Do not tape it. They won't accept it. All right. The fee for a first-time firearm permit is $112, non-refundable. The fee may be paid in any of the following methods: cash, cashier's check, Visa, MasterCard, debit card. Cashier's check should be made payable to Department of Public Safety. Retired law enforcement must provide a letter on the retiring agency letterhead stating that such officer has honorably retired and has completed a certified law enforcement training academy. Honorably retired law enforcement officers should be exempt from payment of the license. There will be a $32 charge for the processing of fingerprints. This goes for everyone. So you got to pay $112 to file your application and get your background check, and then you also have to pay a $32 processing fee for your fingerprints. All right. So, and then the total fee for an individual firearm permit renewal is $72. For an individual 65 years and older, the total fee is $52. All right. So every 5 years, you're going to have to spend $72 to renew. The Mississippi Attorney General has released an opinion on where enhanced permit holders can carry. You can read the opinion here. Let's go see what that looks like. All right. An opinion released by Attorney General Jim Hood outlines where concealed stun guns, revolvers, and pistols can be carried by enhanced permit holders on public property, even where the state or local governmental entity has posted signage prohibiting the carrying of weapons. While the Office of the Attorney General seldom does press releases on opinions released from the Opinions Division, Attorney General Jim Hood hopes the opinion will provide the public with more definitive list where they can and cannot carry with the enhanced permit. Our office has been asked to issue a series of opinions regarding the open carry, concealed carry, and enhanced carry of firearms, said Attorney General Hood. I think this most recent opinion was a good effort to summarize our convoluted gun laws and particularly our enhanced carry statutes. It contains a concise list of places a person with an enhanced concealed carry permit may carry. I hope it will serve as a guide to advanced permittees, public officials, and law enforcement. The opinion written to the City of Corinth outlines the following places where the Mississippi statutes authorize a person with an enhanced permit to carry regardless of signage posted by a state governmental entity. All right. Any polling place other than the section 45-9-101 subsection 13 prohibiting regular permit holders from carrying in polling places, Mississippi Code sections 23-15-895 relating to armed candidates, and 97-13-29 military officer keeping armed troops within 1 mile of an election are the only other state law restrictions regarding firearms and polling places. All right. Any meeting place of the governing body of any governmental entity. It is the opinion of this office that the phrase meeting place means the room in which a meeting transpires, as opposed to the entire building. Thus, although an enhanced permit holder would be entitled to carry a concealed pistol or revolver into a meeting place, that individual would not have unfettered gun carrying access to places within the building that are not generally open to the general public. Any meeting of the legislature or a committee thereof, notwithstanding this language, it is the understanding of this office that the House and the Senate have each passed rules or regulations restricting the right of individuals to carry weapons at meetings of the legislature or its committees. Any school, college, or professional athletic event not related to firearms. This provision authorizes an enhanced permit holder to carry a stun gun, concealed pistol, or revolver into non-firearm related events, even if signage is posted pursuant to section 45-9-101 subsection 13. However, if signage were posted relating to a firearm-related school, college, or professional event, enhanced permit holders would not be authorized to carry their weapons. So what that means is if you have an enhancement, you can carry on school grounds, community college, whatever kind of school grounds it is, as long as they're not hosting a firearm-related event. 5 and 6. I'm going to put these together. They're essentially the same thing. Any portion of an establishment licensed to dispense alcoholic beverages for consumption on the premises that is primarily devoted to dispensing alcoholic beverages. This provision would only have applicability to governmental entities to the extent that such entities own an establishment that was primarily devoted to consuming alcoholic beverages. This right here just trades out beer and light wine in the verbiage, but they read the same. So, me and my wife had to do a little research and digging to really figure out how to interpret this, and I hope this interpretation is correct. But provision here, you know, we're kind of using stipulation as that this is a stipulation. All right. So applicability would be the relevance of it, to who it is relevant to. Okay. So the best example that I have to explain this, all right, this portion here is like Stennis Space Center is a federally controlled base that they do research and all build rockets here close to me. Okay, that base operates under federal authority, so you have to go through security and stuff to get on it. You are not allowed to carry a firearm no matter what kind of permit you have on that base. Security on that base operating under federal authority can. Okay, they're the security. There's a restaurant on base that serves alcohol. All right. No one can go in there carrying a firearm except for those security. Okay, so this would apply to them. You can't go because it's federal anyways, but if you were in some kind of federal building that didn't have signage that you could make your way into, okay, legally, if there was federal authority being exercised over that building, though, they're hosting whatever they're doing there and they're serving alcohol, you could not carry in that building, even though there wasn't signage posted. You wasn't on, you know, federal grounds or federal property or something like that. It's still, this is only the federal powers that be are going to be able to carry in those places. All right. Any elementary or secondary school facility. See Mississippi Attorney General opinion. We'll go back to that, which we've kind of already touched on it. Any junior college, community college, or university facility inside the passenger terminal of any airport. Any person may bring a weapon into a passenger terminal if brought in for the purposes of properly, lawfully checking or shipping such weapon. An enhanced permit holder could, of course, still be arrested under federal law for possessing a weapon in areas prohibited by federal law. So, yes, you're legal up until you hit security. But if you make it past security carrying a firearm, you're going to get arrested and have federal charges brought up against you. Any church or other place of worship. Practically speaking, this provision would not apply to public entities who do not own or control places of worship. This provision has little practical value because private landowners can generally always allow or disallow anyone from carrying a weapon on their private property regardless of whether the state has granted a license. Any place where the carrying of firearms is prohibited by federal law. This provision can only be read to mean that an enhanced permit holder carrying a weapon on prohibited federal property would not be subject to prosecution for state law violations. The federal government certainly could and probably would prosecute anyone bringing a weapon into an unauthorized area regardless of the person's possession of a state permit. So if you bring your firearm into the Social Security office and it has posted no firearms allowed, you would not get any state charges against you, but federal law still prohibits that, and they would still bring federal charges against you. In a parade or demonstration for which a permit is required. In courthouses except in courtrooms during a judicial proceeding. The right to carry in courthouses except in courtrooms during judicial proceedings is granted to enhanced permit holders expressly by Section 97-37-7 without reference to Section 45-9-101, subsection 13, Section 45-9. States that regular permit holders may not carry in courthouses or courtrooms, with the caveat that nothing contained therein precludes a judge from determining who will carry a weapon in his courtroom. Presumably, under this authority, a judge has authority to determine who will, who can, and who cannot carry a weapon in his courtroom. However, the governing authority of the jurisdiction, whether municipal or county, could restrict a regular permit holder from initial entry into the courthouse as opposed to the courtroom by posting a sign. However, such signage could not prevent an enhanced permit holder from entry into the courthouse. Under no interpretation of the law would either a regular or enhanced permit holder be authorized to carry a firearm into a courtroom during a judicial proceeding unless authorized by the judge. Likewise, as noted above, an individual would not have unfettered gun-carrying access to places within the building that are not generally open to the general public. This opinion does not affect the rights of property owners or custodians as follows. Private landowners may post signs or otherwise prevent carrying of weapons onto their private property. Okay, that's how Walmart can say, please don't carry in our stores. It's their house. You can't walk into their house not listening to their rules. State or local governmental entities may prohibit concealed carry by enhanced permit holders into areas posted with no weapon signage if the place is not one of the 13 enumerated places above. Federal installations and buildings can prohibit the carrying of weapons regardless of these state statutes. Federal law succeeds state law. The opinion likewise points out an enhanced permit holder who carries a weapon onto property in a place not listed in the 13 places above in violation of a posted sign could be charged with criminal trespass. So if Walmart sees you open carrying a gun, even though they've asked you not to, and you refuse to leave, they can charge you with trespassing. They can't charge you with anything else though. Which is why I would say it's up to you if you're going to conceal carry into a Walmart. If you're doing it correctly, no one should be bothered, and therefore you wouldn't have a trespass charge brought up against you. But I'm in no way, shape, or form advocating that you willingly break the law. The following list identifies places which by statute you cannot carry regardless of the type of permit you have. Any place of nuisance defined in section 95-3-1, which would include any place in or upon which lewdness, assignation, or prostitution is conducted, permitted, continued, or exists in any other place, or upon which a controlled substance as defined in section 41-29-105 is unlawfully used, possessed, sold, or delivered, and the personal property and contents used in conducting or maintaining any such place for any such purpose. So you can't go into a brothel and you can't go into a trap house, or where they sell drugs and stuff like that, or a massage parlor that, you know, frequently deals in happy endings. Any police, sheriff, or highway patrol station, or any detention facility, prison, or jail. All right, so let's go back to the main site and continue on. Non-residents can't obtain an endorsement and are restricted from carrying in all places listed in Mississippi law for Mississippi enhanced carriers. Non-residents with a permit must carry under the laws, regulations for regular Mississippi permit holders. So if you're a non-resident, I can't give you an enhancement even if you take the course. And you have to follow regular carry laws, regular permit laws. Deadly weapons, persons permitted to carrying weapons, bond, permit to carry weapons, grounds for denying application for permit require weapons training course reciprocal agreements. A person licensed under this section to carry a concealed pistol who has voluntarily completed an instructional course in the safe handling and use of firearms offered by an instructor certified by a nationally recognized organization such as the NRA that customarily offers firearms training, or by any other organization approved by the Department of Public Safety, shall also be authorized to carry weapons in courthouses except in courtrooms during judicial proceedings, and any location listed in subsection 13 of section 45-9-101, except any place of nuisance as defined in section 45-3-1, any police, sheriff, or highway patrol station, or any detention facility, prison, or jail. The department shall promulgate rules and regulations allowing concealed pistol permit holders to obtain an endorsement on their permit indicating that they have completed the aforementioned course and have the authority to carry in these locations. This section shall in no way interfere with the right of a trial judge to restrict the carrying of firearms in the courtroom. The purpose of this subsection 2, the following words shall have the meanings described herein unless the context otherwise requires. Courthouse means any building in which a circuit court, chancery clerk, court, youth court, municipal court, justice court, or any appellate court is located, or any building in which a court of law is regularly held. Courtroom means the actual room in which judicial proceedings occur, including any jury room, witness room, judge's chamber, office housing the judge's staff, or similar room. Courtroom shall not mean hallways, courtroom entrances, courtroom grounds, lobbies, corridors, or other areas within a courthouse which are generally open to the public for the transaction of business outside of an active judicial proceeding. The grassed areas, cultivated flower beds, sidewalks, parking lots, and other areas contained within the boundaries of the public land upon which the courthouse is located. Below is 45-9-101, which lists places off limits, and 95-3-1, which defines places of nuisance noted in the new law. No license issued pursuant to this section shall authorize any person to carry a stun gun, concealed pistol, or revolver into. This is for if you do not have an enhancement and or you don't have a permit at all and you just go by constitutional carry. Any place of nuisance as defined in section 95-3-1 Mississippi Code of 1972. Any police, sheriff, or highway patrol station, any detention facility, prison, or jail. any courthouse, any courtroom, except that nothing in this section shall preclude a judge from carrying a concealed weapon or determining who will carry a concealed weapon in his courtroom. Any polling place, any meeting place of the governing body or any governmental entity, any meeting of the legislature or a committee thereof, any school, college, or professional athletic event not related to firearms, any portion of an establishment licensed to dispense alcohol beverages for consumption on the premises that is primarily devoted to dispensing alcoholic beverages, any portion of an establishment in which beer or light wine is consumed on the premises that is primarily devoted to such purpose, any elementary or secondary school facility, any junior college, community college, college, or university facility, unless for the purpose of participating in any authorized firearms-related activity, inside the passenger terminal of any airport, except that no person shall be prohibited from carrying any legal firearm into the terminal if the firearm is encased for shipment for purposes of checking such firearm as baggage to be lawfully transported on any aircraft. Any church or other place of worship or any place where the carrying of firearms is prohibited by federal law. In addition to the places enumerated in this subsection, the carrying of a stun gun, concealed pistol, or revolver may be disallowed in any place in the discretion of the person or entity exercising control over the physical location of such place by the placing of a written notice clearly readable at the distance of not less than 10 feet that the carrying of a pistol or revolver is prohibited. So this section right here explains why Walmart is able to stop you from openly carrying in their stores. But because the law is usually interpreted verbatim, if you really wanted to push the issue, you could possibly say the sign does not say carrying of a pistol or revolver is prohibiting. It says no firearms allowed. And you could fight that in court. It'd be a lot of a fight, and they'd have to add words into the law and stuff like that. And I'm in no way, shape, or form advocating that, but I just want you to understand that is what the law says. No license issued pursuant to this section shall authorize the participants in a parade or demonstration for which a permit is required to carry a stun gun, concealed pistol, or revolver. All right. Definitions and terms. Person, place, and nuisance. Place shall include any building, erection, or structure, or any separate part of the portion thereof, or the ground itself. Person shall include any individual, corporation, association, partnership, trustee, lessee, agent, or assignee. Nuisance shall mean any place as above defined in or upon which lewdness, assignation, or prostitution is conducted, permitted, continued, or exists in any other place as above defined in or upon which a controlled substance is defined in Section 41-29-105 Mississippi Code of 1972 is unlawfully used, possessed, sold, or delivered, and the personal property and contents used in conducting or maintaining any such place for any such purpose. One single act of unlawful cohabitation, lewdness, or possession, use, sale, or delivery of a controlled substance about such property shall not come within the terms thereof. Alright, let's move down. Places off limits even with a permit or license. See list below for those with an enhanced permit, as they can legally carry in some places listed here with an enhanced permit. This is why we want an enhanced, so we don't have to worry about all this. So even if you have a permit, or if you go by constitutional carry, you can't carry in a police station, highway patrol office, detention facility, prison, or jail, a courthouse, courtroom, except nothing in this section shall stop a judge from allowing people to carry by their discretion. Any polling place or meeting place of a governing body or governmental entity, any meeting of the legislature thereof. We just went through all this. Any school, college, or professional athletic event not related to firearms. Any portion of an establishment licensed to dispense alcoholic beverages for consumption on the premises that is primarily devoted to dispensing alcoholic beverages. Any portion of an establishment in which beer, light wine is consumed on the premises that is primarily devoted to such purpose. So bar, brewery, vineyard, wine tasting. Any elementary or secondary school facility, any junior college, community college, college, or university facility, unless for the purpose of participating in any authorized firearms related activity. Inside the passenger terminal of any airport, except that no person should be prohibited from carrying a legal firearm into the terminal if the firearm is encased for shipment for purposes of checking such firearm as baggage to be lawfully transported on any aircraft. Any church or other place of worship, Any place where the carrying of firearms is prohibited by federal law. This includes your post office. In addition to the places enumerated in this subsection, the carrying of a concealed pistol or revolver may be disallowed in any place in the discretion of the person or entity exercising control over it. So if it's private property and they don't want you to do it and it's posted, you're not allowed to do it. No licensee issued pursuant to this section shall authorize the participants in a parade or demonstration for which a permit is required to carry a concealed pistol or revolver. Alright, so now that we made it through that, how about possession of weapons by students aiding or encouraging? It should not be a violation of this section for any person to possess, carry, whether openly or concealed, any gun, rifle, pistol, or other firearm of any kind on educational property if the person is not a student attending school or any educational property, the firearm is within a motor vehicle, and the person does not brandish, exhibit, or display the firearm in any careless, angry, or threatening manner. Alright, so here's those 13 places where you can carry if you are enhanced. Alright, so any polling place, right? Prohibiting regular permit holders from carrying in polling places. Remember, we're talking about enhanced here. Mississippi Code sections 23-15-895. Here that is here, 23-15-895. No candidate for an elective office or any representative of such candidate, and no proponent or opponent of any constitutional amendment, local issue, or other measure printed on the ballot may post or distribute cards, posters, or other campaign literature within 150 feet of any entrance of the building wherein any election is being held. No candidate or representative named by him or her in writing may appear at any polling place while armed or uniformed, or display any badge or credentials except as may be issued by the manager of the polling place. As used in this section, the term local issue shall have the meaning ascribed to such term in section 23-15-375. This section shall be enforced by election officials and law enforcement officials. So I interpret that is if you are an enhanced concealed carry weapons permit holder, you can, as long as you are not a candidate or you are not in uniform brandishing credentials. Let's see. So we've been through these. These 13 do not apply to an enhanced permit holder. Here's a good one. Employer not permitted to prohibit transportation or storage of firearms on employer property, exception certain immunity for employer. All right. But if you look here, a private employer may prohibit an employee from transporting or storing a firearm in a vehicle in a parking lot, parking garage, or other parking area the employer provides for employees, to which access is restricted or limited through the use of a gate, security station, or other means of restricting or limiting general public access onto the property. So, if they use a gate, or they have security guards or whatever, they can ask you not to bring a firearm on premises, even if it's in your own personal property, such as your car. This section shall not apply to vehicles owned or leased by an employer and used by the employee in the course of his business. So if you have a company vehicle that you drive around all the time, they can't keep you from storing a firearm in it. This section does not authorize a person to transport or store a firearm on any premises where the possession of a firearm is prohibited by state or federal law. You still have to follow the laws. A public or private employer should not be liable in civil action for damages resulting from or arising out of an occurrence involving the transportation, storage, possession, or use of a firearm covered by this section. So they're not going to be liable if something happens. This is important. The licensee must carry the license together with valid identification at all times in which the licensee is carrying a stun gun, concealed pistol, or revolver, and must display both the license and proper identification upon demand by a law enforcement officer. A violation of this the provisions of this paragraph shall constitute a non-criminal violation with a penalty of $25 and shall be enforceable by summons. Must inform officer immediately on contact by law. This says no. I would. If you're carrying and they ask for your license, you need to go ahead and let them know that you are carrying and present them with your firearms permit as well. Otherwise, it's going to cause you problems and you might wind up with a summons to court and a $25 fine. Other than that, we pretty much touched on everything, y'all. So to wrap this up and summarize, it's my interpretation that if you are enhanced concealed carry permit holder, the only places you cannot carry are places of nuisance, okay? Any police, sheriff, highway patrol station, you know, any detention facility, prison or jail, and any federal building where posted and where federal regulations operate. Social Security office, post office, things like that. All right, so the biggest benefits you get out of your enhanced concealed carry permit is being able to carry in those 13 places that are listed off limits to regular carry permit holders and constitutional carriers, and your reciprocity agreement. Okay, so like me, I frequent Louisiana. I travel back and forth across the state line all the time for work and to shop and eat. I have family in South Texas, and we like to go to Florida for vacations, and because of the reciprocity I have with my enhancement, I'm good to carry in all those states. I still have to follow local state law, but I know that I'm good to go with my firearm and my car and most places, you know, of public domain. So a lot of benefits there, y'all. If y'all don't understand any of this, please comment. You know, I will try to clarify as best that I can. And again, this is not legal advice. This is just my interpretation. And all this information is public domain. You can a simple Google search will get you into the titles. And if it's kind of hard to understand, you know, go to like usccacarry.com, or there's plenty of places like I showed you earlier where they'll kind of mainstream it. All right, and I'll include those links in the description below. Pretty easy to understand, you know, but just make sure you're following the law wherever you go. And by getting an enhanced concealed carry permit, it's a lot easier to follow the law. There's a lot less prohibited places for you if you're a local resident. All right, y'all, I hope y'all get the most out of this. I really appreciate y'all tuning in and sticking with me for this lengthy video, and hopefully you learned something and you'll want to go get trained up. I do offer a NRA basic pistol course, which would give you an enhancement for a CCW permit. So if you're interested in that and you're local, you know, contact me either on here or on the page or something, and like and share with your friends. I appreciate your time. Thanks, y'all.